Sorry guys, I've been listening to the rumbling on repeat nonstop. That song is amazing. That song is beautiful, bro. I've been listening to that joint nonstop. They just dropped the official music video a few days ago, and I think the song is like number 1 on something, but it's lit. But we're not here to talk about Attack on Titan. Nah, we here to talk about Soul. That's not what we're here. We're here to talk. We're not here to talk about Attack on Titan. We're here to talk about Soul Eater. I said it again. We're not here to talk about Attack on Titan. We're not here to talk about Soul Eater. We're here to talk about Sword Art Online. This is probably like my 4th anime. I started watching this show at the same time as Attack on Titan Season 1 back in 2013. They were like back to back. I was just Sword Art Online, Attack on Titan. Those are my 4th and 5th animes. So, yeah. Now, this video is called When Sword Art Was the Best Anime Ever by Scramboli Reviews. I reacted to a Scramboli review video like 2 weeks ago or last week, and it's pretty good. And then someone in the comments was like, you should react to more Scramboli. And I was like, I got you. So here we are. I enjoyed his video, so I actually did want to check out more of his anime reactions and reviews, whatever they are. But Sword Art is a weird show. I never finished it. I saw the first arc when they went in the game and it was like Kirito and the dual swords. That was very lit. He was broken, but it was lit. Then I saw the fairy arc, which I actually didn't mind. I actually enjoyed that arc. And then the Gun Gale arc I went to like years later. I just watched that like 2 years ago. So when I went back to it, I was like, this isn't too bad, but it was dumb because I'm like, this dude is fighting in a gun game with swords, and he's still the most broken character here. He has all the cheat codes. How does that even make sense? You're fighting with guns. Like, everyone's fighting with guns. Just because you have a sword does not mean that you can just be Goku in whatever game you go into. Like, that shit should just not work. So Kirito, his brokenness, I accepted it in the first game because I'm like, okay, dude has cheat codes. That's just his character. But now it's like, bruh, you should be dead. You should be dead. And with every game you go into, you should not be Goku, bro. That is no. And then the story just got goofy, and then I stopped watching it. I never finished it. I heard the most recent arc, or whatever, the season 3, when it gets really bloody and more gory, was good, but I don't know. I never watched it because I didn't care anymore. Sword Art kind of fell off for me. But we gonna see. I might go and watch that season one day. But let's see what Scramboli has to say. He might say everything I'm saying, but let's see.
Sword Art Online is ass.
Okay, cool.
Cred arc, such a piece of shit.
Wait.
Sword Art Online is
Which
definitely
arc?
the most disappointing anime ever made.
Its dog is a piece of trash.
I think he's just
it's
talking.
Actually a big disappointment and letdown.
I think he's just talking.
You may not remember this, but at one point, Sword Art was king. Certainly there were people who didn't like the show, but you could actually say, I like Sword Art, without someone thinking you're a fat dumbass with a lazy eye.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I never thought Sword Art was the best anime because, again, I was watching at the same time as Attack on Titan. And that shit was a million times better. And I had just watched Soul Eater, Dragon Ball Z, and Kenichi the Mighty Disciple. So clearly Sword Art Online was never at the top for me. But I really enjoyed it. But what happened? Let's see.
Two dads. Somewhere along the way, the internet began to notice gaping holes in the story.
Only likable character in a dungeon and made Kirito's sister want to f him.
That was weird. Kirito, the main character. Oh, I forgot about that. But yeah, Kirito, the main character, his little sister wanted to fuck him. And I was like, this is when the story started getting weird for me. Because I was like, why are you trying to make an incest theme? And why does his little sister look good? Like, she looked bad. I don't remember how old she was, but she was in high school. And don't call me weird, because I was in 7th grade when I saw this show. So I was like, yo, shorty looks bad. But why are you making this bad character want to fuck with her older brother who's been in a video game and is like skeleton bone man for like that man was like anorexic at that point because he was stuck in the game for so long. And you guys made his little sister want to fuck this man. I was like, what is happening? And then Kirito was trying to get his girlfriend out of this rape dungeon. I was like, this show is low-key, when I really think about it, Sword Art is a really weird show. And that's probably why I never finished it. Because now that I'm actually thinking about it, that shit was like cool to watch when I was in 7th grade. But looking at, thinking back on it, there's a lot of fucked up shit in this show. It's a lot of weird shit in here.
I can't blame him. Okay, stop eating, and numerous other creators have all shook hands, looked each other in the eyes, and said, "We're all gonna act like this is the worst piece of shit ever made. Who's with me? Oh, Cheerio! Domino's excellent. Very good. Yeah, but what about something like The Regular at Magic High School?
I don't even know what that is, but I feel like it's trash.
Who invited this guy home? You gotta go, bro. You bastard. Do not faster.
I like how they got all the different nations.
You bastard. The funny part is, none of these guys are wrong. The story is stupid. If you take off the nerve gear, a fucking microwave will blow your brain up. This guy is so evil, he starts licking Asuna's tears.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
Yummy. If you genuinely see nothing wrong here, one of your eyes is clearly drifting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, when I'm watching it my first time as a kid, I didn't really think anything of this stuff.
Bad energy in 2012. Look up Sword Art Bad and you'll find something most curious. Videos from 5 years ago, 4 years, 6 years, 4 years, 5 years on Reddit, 5 months. We're all on the same page now. Back in the day, the Sword Art I remember was Rapture. The click of a play button
It was
sent
lit.
me over to another planet. It was the most immersive, the most vast, and the most coolest stuff out at the time.
And it was
Still
pretty.
Tell me it was dog shit.
It was pretty. Sword Art Online was full of different colors, bro. Like, I just wasn't used to that. Like, this was like, actually, no, I can't say that, because Soul Eater was pretty colorful too. But Sword Art Online, it just had every character had their own unique colors and stuff, and they had clans in the video game, so it was like the clan represented a color, like each clan had its own color type thing. Like, they were the red and white clan, and all of them were dressed in red and white. Then you had like the red samurai looking clan. Like, everybody just, like, it was cool. It was like different factions, and you were going into a video game like immersive. And if you don't, and it was like, if you don't beat the game, or if you die in the game, you die in real life. Like, that's a hard concept to me. I think I just enjoyed the concept. That's what made me really like the show. The concept of Sword Art Online is crazy. I love it. It's just the execution with the show is what I think threw me off, especially in later seasons. But now looking back, I might have to rewatch season 1 and 2, like up until like just the first arc with this arc, and then the fairy arc. I might rewatch those two, and then I want to see how will I enjoy it in 2022? 10 years later, will I enjoy this show, or will I just be like, this is weird? And I don't know. I actually am curious now.
And if there were, their voices would be stifled as a grin shot across my face from one ear to
And the designs of the monsters were cool too. That's another thing. Like every villain boss for each level, they looked cool. I really enjoyed the designs.
And then years later, it was like, wait, what?
And the design of the areas too. Oh yeah, they were calling him a beater because he had all the cheat codes and shit. He was a cheater. Yeah. Nobody liked Kirito because he had the cheat codes and he was better than them.
It's not possible. But I want to remember why I loved it so much, the impact the show had, and the possibilities.
And Kirito, he wasn't soft either. He was the main character who knew he had the cheat codes, and he was like, "You guys don't like me? Get good, nigga. I don't care. I got the cheat codes." Like, that was Kirito's attitude. I loved that shit. And then he was actually trying to fuck with his girl.
Back then we would have.
Yeah, I'm so glad anime came up from how it used to be. I'm so glad anime is what it is now versus what it used to be.
New anime comes out faster than back in the day, so all of our little eyes were glued to each seasonal release. Fairy Tail was awesome, maybe this one will be cool. Everything was a landmine that would either be a dud or completely blow your socks off. Each season showed me something new. I was a new human, and of all the shows I watched, no one did anything similar to Sword Art. So we're not ready for that, and I have something crazy to say first. Gaming was way funner back in 2012. I could go and pretend like I know about hedonic adaptation, but basically anything that makes you happy will make you less happy over time, like gaming or anime, both of which I enjoyed leagues more 9 years ago. The last 10 minutes of every school day were characterized by intense eye contact with the clock.
That's the funny thing that he said that. He said everything you enjoy, the longer you enjoy it, the least you'll enjoy it less. I guess I can understand what he's saying, like things fall off, like video games, let me think. Yeah, there's a couple of video games that I used to play that I still play now, where I play the later releases of them, but I don't enjoy it as much as I used to enjoy it back when I was in middle school or in high school, you know. But with anime is different. Like when I watch Dragon Ball Z today, I still enjoy it as much as I enjoyed it 10 years ago. Same with other shows. I don't like that's the only show I don't know, and Attack on Titan too. But you know, I don't know if like shows are gonna fall off in the future. Like most of the anime shows I just started watching within the past 5 years, so I can't even give it that much time. But shows like Attack on Titan and Dragon Ball, since those I started them 10 years ago, I can definitely say I still enjoy them today. Y'all know I enjoy them. But that's just interesting that he said that. But I can agree to an extent.
When I was a student, I'd write long essays that I'd work on for days. But now...
Some of you might have heard this.
I was an Xbox 360 kid. I ain't never had a PS3.
To grab a femboy made
I wanted one, but I never had one.
Was home at the time. Machinima was brutally butt fucking YouTubers.
I used to be watching.
Yeah.
Yo, I loved this time period. Oh my gosh, yo, chill. I love this time period. I don't know if y'all know this, but I really grew up watching a bunch of white YouTubers. It's like I enjoy black YouTubers now. Like, I don't want to make this a race thing, but I'm going to just tell you how it was. Like, KSI and DDG are my favorite YouTubers now. I don't even be on YouTube watching niggas. I can't say that. KSI, RTTV, and DDG. Those are my 3 favorite YouTube channels. And they're all black creators. I enjoy the content more. It's just more like my feel. If you haven't noticed, I'm black too. Like, I just enjoy watching black creators make content more suitable for a black audience. That's just me. But when I was growing up, 10 years ago, man, I was watching Smosh, Diga Higa, Tobuscus. I never really liked PewDiePie because when he passed Smosh, I had some issue with that. I was like, no way you just passed my favorite YouTube channel. I ain't fucking with that. But then I watched some of his videos and I was like, okay, Pewd is cool. But back then, this time period, 2013 was really my favorite year of me being on this earth, bro. I loved this year. This video right here is making me have so many nostalgic feelings right now. Like, thinking about anime I liked, games I liked, YouTubers I liked. Like, this video, I'm fucking with this video. And I might have to go on a nostalgic binge after I finish all my recordings, because I'm thinking about a lot right now.
Brutally.
But yeah, Machinima was on top back then. I used to just watch gaming channels all day. I didn't even watch anything. It was just gaming channels and skits. That was all I watched.
Millions of kids out there.
That was all I watched. And then Sword Art came out.
Homophobia is a trace amounts of urine detected. Shit bucket detected. You have reached the criteria to play video games online. Welcome to SAO. What this first episode did was the extravagant architecture, the different.
The pilot of SAO was nice. There wasn't even a crazy fight, but just the way it happened, and then the dude in the sky, it was lit.
Don't even try to tell me you don't remember the scene.
We could stand here all day and you wouldn't get anywhere.
He said, my health is too high. My HP is just recovering non-stop. You can't hurt me.
Skeleton, not the one with the shield, it's Sword Art. Those sound effects
I did like the sounds
are
too.
fucking important. The ring bounces around my head years later. This is something that a real game has. The landscape shots that could have.
Yeah, the world was beautiful. The world of Sword Art Online is beautiful.
Has a bridge thing. Giant pillars.
And it reminds me of an RPG. It reminds me of damn, I'm just telling y'all all my life. Shit. In this video, y'all just gonna know Darius, then fuck it. But my favorite games, my 2 favorite series are the Dark Souls series, like Soulsborne, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, Elden Ring. I'm playing Elden Ring right after I finish this. I would stream it, but I don't got a computer, y'all. I want to stream Elden Ring so bad, but I can't. There's no computer to stream it. And then Monster Hunter, the Monster Hunter franchises. Those are my 2 favorite games. Watching this, watching Sword Art Online, it reminded me of both of those games, because it was just like, it's an RPG, different worlds, different landscapes. It's not even like this is all the same area. It was like you got the forest area, then you got that underwater area we just seen, then you got this nice field with the colorful blue sky. It's lit. It was lit. Sword Art was a lit ass show growing up. I just don't know what happened. Well, I know what happened, but damn.
If you die in the game, you're done in rings, buddy. Sword Art Online breezed past its competition that season, then said, hold up, put it in reverse. saw Chitose Kikyo, looked at it and said, "Really? Don't let me catch you out here again." And hit the gas. It had
Damn,
the
spit
greatest
on him.
premise. Some of the best fights and highest stakes all the way up until he beat the game. What a feeling of catharsis, man. And then Asuna's stuck in the game and Kirito has to go back and save her. And I'm thinking, everybody's putting the Oculus back on? This is also the part of Sword Art where Kirito's cousin sister falls madly in love with him.
I'm in love with my brother. And that's something I can't tell anyone about.
Yeah, cause
Now,
why?
I had never
You
seen
know, you don't.
this
You go to
amount of
you go to
shit
school.
like this.
You don't see any
I was
cute
not
boys
very
there.
happy. Regardless, the Elfheim Mark
You never seen any boys at your school you liked? Kirito the only nigga you know?
That guy dominating inferior gamers in the craziest fights possible. No, it was not as good as the first arc, but I still liked it all the way up to the point where he beats the game and saves Asuna. And then the government is like, Kirito, maybe you could hop in the Oculus again? And at this point, I had checked out because that simply makes no fucking sense.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, the story should have ended right then and there. You save Asuna, you go in the game, you get trapped, you beat the game, and then you come out, you're like, damn, I survived SAO. I defeated the creator of the game. I'm basically a god in real life. Then you're like, damn, the girlfriend that I met in the game is still trapped in the game. You was like, I don't want to go in there, but I love her. So he went in the game. I was like, I respect that, Kirito. It's love. Asuna's bad. Go in there, save your shorty, handle the business. You know you got all the cheat codes. I'm not even worried for you. He goes in, he beats the nigga's ass, who was trying to rape Asuna, by the way. And then he beat him, saved her. Dude got sent to jail in real life, and then he was done. I was like, that's the end of the story. Finito. SAO. Done forever. Never make another anything. It's done. That's where it should have ended. Then I come to find out, like 2 years later, there's another SAO season with guns, and I was cautious. I was like, why? And again, by this point, I was a little more grown. I was like, it was more than 2 years, actually. It was like 4 or 5 years. So at this point, I was grown. I was probably like 17 or 18. I was like 18 or 19 when I seen this shit. So I was like, why would he go back in the game? I know I haven't seen SAO in a minute, but I definitely remember he did. It's not something you would want to go back into. And you went into it twice. You literally have no reason to go in a third time. The first time, it was you was curious and you were a gamer. I was like, fine. Second time, you had to save your shorty. I'm like, fine. Third time, you should not go back in that motherfucker. Like, what is he doing? So let's see what happens.
Wow. To some extent, I'd always inserted myself into the anime I was watching. Like, I genuinely thought I would have fairy tale magic one day.
I thought I could shoot a Kamehameha. I thought I could shoot some final flashes.
If
I
were
thought so.
trapped in this world, I would be built differently. I would level up super fast. I'd certainly got.
I would play it just like I play Dark Souls. I would level up all the stats I need and just kill everything.
Because when we watched,
I
his
promise.
presence was irrelevant. Us pissy little kids were in Minecraft. There were these globs of polish spread around the world to make it shine. That meant everything to someone like me who lived vicariously through the characters on screen. I wanted to have 2 fucking swords and run around in the games I loved. The show came out when our standards were a little different, weeks before the Oculus Rift was announced, with a concept that was so goddamn ahead of its time it was impossible not to crush it. Not with that quality. It's not a coincidence that we didn't really start seeing RPG-inspired isekai until post-Sword Art. New Time magazine rated
Isekai, what does that mean?
#1
Is that like another?
popular male
I guess it's not
character
shonen.
decade,
That's
alongside
another.
Asuna at the number
thing.
2 for females. The light novel was voted #1 in the decade by people who probably can't read. I believe that with the meteoric rise of Sword Art, studios probably saw potential in adapting anime with similar themes. Worlds packed with RPG elements where you could level up and be special. A ton of novels existed that fit that criteria for years,
ReZero.
but it's not until slightly after Sword Art
I heard
that we see
ReZero
stuff
was
like
pretty
Log
bad,
Horizon
so I
getting
don't wanna
adapted
watch
and
it.
making a buzz. Okay, it's not just anime studios. The founder of Oculus Rift stated that he wants to take after Sword Art and is currently involved in a project to create a game with serious consequences. The creators of Genshin Impact plan on
That
making the
sounds
largest
not good.
virtual game in history, with models inspired by Sword Art. The franchise spread roots in various facets of pop culture. The show connected with something that a lot of people had been waiting for, something that caught on like wildfire, all on fucking accident. Reiki Kawahara was a normal guy that liked drawing manga. He also grew up with 2 sisters, so what the fuck was that about? He spent his time in college either drawing in the manga studies club or playing games like WoW and Phantasy Star Online. However, he would slowly realize that drawing manga was way too much work, and to my knowledge spent the next 3 years pooping around. In 2001, Kawahara decided, while having exactly 0 experience, that he would apply for the Dengeki Novel Prize and wrote the entire Aincrad arc, the first half of Sword Art, on a whim. And didn't even end up submitting it because he exceeded the word count by 120 pages. His attachment to the story would
like
not let him
Dark
throw it
Souls
away,
music.
so he posted it online. Thanks to fan support, he felt motivated to keep writing, and 7 years later he submitted his new work, Excel World, which actually got published as a novel, prompting the publisher to be like, hey, this Sword Art shit is pretty cool too. Do you want me to print this out also? And Kawahara was like, yeah, let me just clean it up a little bit. Eventually, the 2 were given an anime, first Excel World and then Sword Art. This monster of a franchise was fueled by a failed novel submission from 2001. No shit, there's flaws with the story. Kawahara had never written anything before. The reason why we resonate with the plot is because Kawahara is a gamer through and through. Yet, the reason why we hate on it now is because he was not a writer. As he's gained experience, he's collected so many regrets about the series, particularly making his female characters trophies to be saved and earned. He admits there's obvious plot holes with the nerf gear and just couldn't think of another way to have the players get trapped in a game. And I get it. If my first video was the one everyone knew me by, I'd have some regrets too.
You know what makes my balls itch?
But regardless of his lack of skill, the story came from a real place. Kawahara genuinely wanted to imagine what he would do if he were trapped in a video game. It comes through in scenes where Asuna shows us how food is cooked under the game's engine. Kirito is a loner because Kawahara himself would play solo. American players would get pissed at him for the language barrier and he would just do his own thing. This guy was sharing pieces of himself. It's something that pierces through the bad writing. Which is incredible because holy fuck, the writing's bad. Before I dug into his past, I could tell this was made by a gamer. Someone who probably wanted to see all the things he was writing about. A world where he put his gaming knowledge to practice and became someone who stood out even when playing by himself. There is a great list of things that Sword Art is not, but it was an outlet for us kids. I could peer into a distant fantasy at a time where I wanted it the most. Sure, people dunk on it, rightfully so. Just know that for now, I'm not joining in because I remember a time when Sword Art was the best anime ever.
I still disagree, ever.
Are you winning, son?
But it was nice. It was really nice.
You know what? Yeah, dads. I am.
Dads? Oh shit. Yeah, nah. Sword Art for me was never the best. Ever. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I definitely thoroughly enjoyed it. At the time, it was my top 5. But again, I only seen 5 animes. So again, there's not much I can really say there. But I enjoyed Sword Art Online. Will I ever finish it after the gun arc? Will I watch past that? I don't know. I really don't. We'll see. And what is isekai? I'm assuming that's something like a genre, like how shonen is like, you know, the boy made for like the teenage boy demographic. Seinen is made like more mature men audience. Is sekai that more like romance novel type manga? Is that what that is? Because I know Sword Art Online was definitely the first anime that I had ever seen that actually had developed relationships. It wasn't like the main character does his own thing and gets the girl at the end. It was more like the whole show pretty much revolved around their relationship. Like, yeah, you had the plot of him trying to escape the game, but when he found out about the girl, when he met her, she was just like, yo, I love this girl. She was like, yo, I love this dude. Like, they even started a family with the NPC. Like, that game was different. It was definitely different from shonen. So, I don't know. Like, comment, and subscribe. We got more anime content on the way. More Scramboli reviews. I enjoy his content. Let's watch Chainsaw Man Chainsaw Man will be on everyone's top 5 list. I have never seen anything about Chainsaw Man. I know I was gonna watch the trailer, but I never watched it. Let's watch this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gone. See you in the next ones. More Scramboli reviews, more One Piece reactions, more Attack on Titan reactions. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood coming soon.